Today I learned the Japanese bullet train system is equipped with a network of sensitive seismometers. On March 11, 2011, one of the seismometers detected an 8.9 magnitude earthquake 12 seconds before it hit in center. Stop signal to 33 trains. As a result, only one bullet train derailed that day.
Till if your bullet train stops, get ready for a wild ride. Imagine your bullet train coming to an emergency stop in the middle of nowhere. And when you are all confused trying to work out what's happened, an 8.9 earthquake hits. Wow, that is amazing tech for trains. I could have sworn to just have read a till about no bullet train incidents in Japan. Pull my finger if I'm wrong.
Today I learned that Angelina Jolie once tried to hire a hitman to kill her, because she felt that a murder would be easier on her family than her committing suicide. The would-be hitman talked her out of it by asking her to wait a month.
Anybody else think it was weird how that article just started talking about Anthony Hopkins for no apparent reason? Greater than Billy Bob Thornton, a heavily tattooed and 5 times married actor and director who believes he is the reincarnation of Benjamin Franklin, one of America's founding fathers. Wait, this should be a DLC in the new Hitman game. Is that how the 1% commit suicide? Hired help. The rest of us are stuck with scratchy rope.
Today I learned that a Polish environmental charity put a SIM card in a GPS tracker to follow the migratory pattern of a white stork. They lost track of the stork and later received a phone bill for $2,700. Someone in Sudan had taken the SIM from the tracker and made over 20 hours of calls.
I'm just imaging the guy who had the SIM card telling everyone his story of how he got the card, and then letting everyone make free calls to family members overseas. I feel like having the option of not letting people make $2,700 worth of phone calls for a SIM card assigned to an IoT device would have been a worthy use of time. Ha! Greater than headline. What a flap. SIM swiped from slain stork's GPS tracker used to rack up $2,700 phone bill. Greater than asterisk. Bio boffin's feathers ruffled after miscreants flip him the bird, costing charity a lot as a lottie asterisk. Phone logs reveal that the stork was delicious, if a bit gamey.
Today I learned there's a restaurant in New York that doesn't employ chefs. They employ grandmas. Every day, a different grandma from around the world designs her own menu.
Will she sit with me after the meal and give me a mixture of great and awful advice? That's a business model for success. Get a bunch of cute little old ladies to give customers the old grandma guilt trip to eat second and third helpings. Then blindside them with the bill. Been to this restaurant and it is awesome. This tiny Argentinian granny shuffled over to me and my girlfriend after our entrees were served, and stuck a cute little Argentinian flag in my empanada, winked, and then walked back to the stove to keep cooking. Unforgettable and delicious. It's on Staten Island. Definitely a romantic trip. Asterisk each night. Of Nona, Italian for grandmother, from a different country designs a fresh menu, honoring her native cuisine. Asterisk. Asterisk. Friday was Sri Lanka. Thursday, the Philippines. Tuesday, Armenia. Asterisk. Asterisk. A man eating at the bar asked about the next Sunday menu. Russia. Asterisk. Sounds like a great way to experience different cultures while getting a great meal.
Today I learned when Robert Ballard, professor of oceanography, announced a mission to find the Titanic. It was a cover story for a classified mission to search for lost nuclear submarines. They finished before they were due back, so the team spent the extra time looking for the Titanic and actually found it.
Stupid anecdote of the day. When I was in 4th grade, our teacher had a straw on styrofoam cups. These normal-sized 12 ounces cups were then sent to Ballard. He took them on an adventure and the cups shrunk to the size of a thimble thanks to pressure. I still have that cup. That guy is forever cool in my book. My dad met Robert Ballard at a party once. Apparently when you go down in a submersible, there's always condensation, which often drips down from the ceiling. So whenever Ballard goes down with someone who's never been in a submersible before and it starts to drip, he looks up and just goes, "Huh. That's never happened before." Edit. Thank you for the Reddit silver. Huh. That's never happened before. Edit 2. Holy cow. Thank you for the gold. I've taken classes with Robert Ballard. I'm an archaeologist student myself, so I always found the Titanic to be super interesting. He's very passionate about oceanography and specifically black smoke vents in the deep ocean. He's very eccentric and seems nice, but he's kind of hard to talk to. But he's got some really crazy stories to tell, that's for sure. This he did not bring up in class. He was looking for the scorpion and thresher. There is an excellent book called Blind Man's Bluff about Cold War-era submarine spying. It details all of Ballard's contributions. The guy was the guru of finding sunken objects. An even more compelling story is Operation Ivy Bells. It's also included in the book and documents how we used submarines to tap Soviet communication cables.
Today I learned when Lawrence Anthony, known as the Elephant Whisperer, passed away, a herd of elephants arrived at his house in South Africa to mourn him. Although the elephants were not alerted to the event, they traveled to his house and stood around for 2 days, and then dispersed.
Greater than when Anthony died of a heart attack. The elephants, who were grazing miles away in different parts of the park, traveled over 12 hours to reach his house. According to his son Jason, both herds arrived shortly after Anthony's death. They hadn't visited the compound where Anthony lived for a year and a half. But Jason says, in coming up there on that day of all days, we certainly believe that they had sensed it. Either they sensed it, or elephants can tell what day you're going to die. Fuck, dude. Imagine being so cool that when you die, a fucking herd of elephants takes a road trip to come pay their respects for 2 days. It's right out of a movie. Hey, the whispering stopped. Better check on Larry. How would you even alert an elephant that a human died? Like what? Edit. Reddit scientists are coming together to solve this marvel of nature. LMAO. Lots of great theories out there.
Today I learned Martin Short, Steve Martin and Tom Hanks have regular colonoscopy parties where they prep together overnight and share one car on the ride to get their colonoscopies the next day. Did
Chevy Chase get kicked out of the Three Amigos? Celebrities in cars getting colonoscopies. The asterisk problem asterisk here is that Martin and Short are dry enough, smart enough and satirical enough to pull this off as a complete and utter joke without breaking a smile. I don't know what to believe. The worst part of the colonoscopy is the prep. 24 hours without solid food and drinking that stuff that makes you shit until it's just brown water coming out. If you can swing it, get your colonoscopy as early in the day as you can. And try to stay awake for the actual probing so you can see firsthand what the inside of your colon looks like. I mean, you paid up. You might as well enjoy the ride.
Today I learned only 3 people in the nation were qualified to hand-pack the parachutes for Apollo 15. Their expertise was so vital, they were not allowed to ride in the same car together for fear that a single auto accident could cripple the space program.
Greater than finally, the parachutes were folded and packed by hand during the Apollo missions in the 1960s and early 1970s. Only 3 people in the country were trained, and then licensed by the Federal Aviation Administration, to fold Apollo parachutes. Norma Creedle, Buzz Corey and Jimmy Kalunga. And they handled all 11 Apollo missions. Why not just train and license more people then? Out of curiosity, if it was such an important skill, how come only 3 people were trained to fold the parachutes and not more? How about every other Apollo? Why is this only a problem for 15? What's your job? Space origami.
Today I learned that in ancient Rome, commoners would evacuate entire cities in acts of revolt called secessions of the plebeians, leaving the elite in the cities to fend for themselves.
Asterisk as a result of concerns about debt and the failure of the Senate to provide for plebeian welfare. The plebeians, on the advice of Lucius Sicinius Velletus, seceded to the Mons Sacer, the sacred mountain. As part of a negotiated resolution, the patricians freed some of the plebs from their debts and conceded some of their power by creating the office of the tribune of the plebs. This office was the first government position held by the plebs. Asterisk. These secessions were apparently quite successful negotiating tools. I think places like San Francisco and Vancouver are doing a slow, unintentional version of this. Now this is a Labor Day till. Fine work. There's always one guy who says, if the emperor isn't here in 15 minutes, we are legally allowed to leave. Edit. I put allowed instead of allowed. I swear people, I'm not that stupid IRL.